Good morning. Blessed to be with you. Kevin Miller in the morning. KIDO Talk Radio. Phone numbers 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Let's go to our newsmaker line. William Geen joining us from AlleyPack. Mr. Geen, good morning.
Good morning. I'm over here making news, Kevin.
Oh, yeah?
I get up and make news like a lot of people make breakfast.
You've been doing that for years. Tell us about the news, sir.
Well, right now, I'm going to have to multitask while I'm talking with you and your wonderful listeners. We're sending out the new press release about our event in Washington tomorrow. We're having a first-of-its-kind rally against illegal immigration and amnesty legislation in front of the White House at Lafayette Square. And we're going to go up there and try to exert pressure on President Trump to return to his campaign promises on immigration, many of which are being neglected or broken. And we're going to try to stop this plot that's in motion to pass an amnesty bill for 4 million illegal aliens in the bill that just passed the House the other day, H.R. 6.
You don't really think that bill has any movement in the Senate, do you?
Yes, I think it does. And I think that the biggest chance that we'll let it pass or give it the highest chances of being passed in the law is people thinking that the Republican senators or that Trump will stop it. If you look at closely what Senator Lindsey Graham and Jared Kushner, senior White House assistant to the president, his lifelong Democrat son-in-law, are doing, they have come out with tough-sounding plans and tough-sounding immigration that they want to sell the public on and get everybody to think about, oh, it's immigration. It's that tough plan I heard from the White House, that tough plan I heard from Lindsey Graham, who's up for re-election. And then in the last minute, smush the Democrats' amnesty into it as part of a deal, get it to the president's desk, bam, signed it, 4 million Trump voters permanently wiped out in future U.S. elections. That's the plan that we believe is in motion right now, and that's the plan that we're out to stop.
William Geen joining us from AlleyPack. Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio, 107.5 FM, 580 AM. Let's take a look at the president. Many people on this program support the president. They don't agree with your criticism of him, and they think these tariffs with the Mexicans are enough to stop them from flooding the zone. This is what you know about. This is your livelihood. You tell me about all the people coming in and the president trying to stop it. He could do more?
Well, this is an invasion. President Trump has acknowledged that this is invasion on several accounts. Invasion of the United States calls for him to invoke Article 4 of the United States and use a military and other types of response to stop it. We don't put tariffs on invading countries. That's not what we do. We put sanctions on invading countries and kick their diplomats out and things of that nature, but putting a 5% tariff on an invading country like Mexico, and see, it's an obfuscation. What Trump does, he's constantly obfuscating. It's the Democrats. It's the courts. It's Mexico. Guess what? Newsflash. It's not the job of Mexico to stop illegal immigration into the United States. Guess whose job it is? It's the job of President Donald J. Trump. That's the truth. Those are the facts. It's not Nancy Pelosi's responsibility. It's not the Ninth Circuit courts. It's not Mexico. It's on the shoulders. The buck stops with Donald Trump. Now, I know a lot of people like Donald Trump or want him to win or invested and stuff like that. I've had people tell me they trust Donald Trump. I've had people tell me they love Donald Trump. Well, I got two things about those. One, if you're looking for love and campaigns and politics in D.C., you are definitely looking for love in the wrong places. And two, there's nothing about our American system of checks and balances and divisions of power that has anything to do with trusting any politician. If you're out there trusting Trump or other politicians or loving on Trump and loving on politicians, you got something else that's going on that's not consistent with what the founding fathers tried to set up here as far as we, the people, being the monitors of things and the true check and balance. If you look at what Donald Trump has done, he's broken over 11 of his core immigration promises, and the promises he's breaking were matters of personal and national survival. There's so many illegals flooding in here. And the Border Patrol is not apprehending them, Kevin. There's more illegal immigrants coming in the country right now under Donald Trump than under Barack Obama or George Bush. Illegal immigration is officially worse under the policies and administration and responsibility of Donald J. Trump than ever before. And that means that more Americans out there are going to get hurt and killed this year by illegal aliens, and more angel families are going to be created than ever before under Donald J. Trump. And I'm trying to stop that. And if somebody doesn't want to listen to me, don't want to respond to me as I'm trying to stop that, then fine. But, we've learned through the years, get involved, people. The life you save may be your own or some loved one in your family.
All right. Our great friend, William Geen, joining us. AliPac, if you want more information, at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. What do you say to people, though, that say the Congress doesn't help him? Truly, they could reform the asylum laws, which would stop the illegals. They could fund the border wall. So what do you want the president to do, Mr. Geen, without the help of Congress that threatens to sue him all the time with all these Obama and Clinton judges that are tying his hands? Your response.
Well, if you look at the press release posted in announcements, it's about to go out to our email alerts list here in a few minutes carefully, you will see a link to an article by David Horowitz and other sources that show that Trump doesn't need a change in the laws to take care of this. Trump never campaigned on changing the laws. No, I never campaigned on changing the laws. No one's talked about having to change the laws to stop illegal immigration until Donald J. Trump starts breaking campaign promises and start using it as his myriad of excuses and obfuscations about why he's not doing his job or honoring his campaign promises. So this whole thing about Congress needs to change the loopholes, there are some interpretations of laws that have been used by prior presidents to allow the illegals to file all these fake asylum-seeking laws, but those are subservient to the existing laws that say the illegals are to be kept out and deported, and all of those are subservient to Article 4 of the United States Constitution, which requires the president, it's not an option, to protect all states from invasion. And Donald Trump is not doing that, although he has admitted it's an invasion, and he has sworn an oath to the United States Constitution. Anybody out there that wants to give him a pass or follow his excuses or make excuses for him, you're increases the chance that amnesty is going to pass and millions of people like you will never count in American politics or elections again. Enjoy your warm, fuzzy feelings that you got somebody in there that represents you, because you're never getting them again. You're getting one long line of Bernie Sanders or worse for the rest of time, because there's nothing stopping any of these illegal aliens from voting in 2020. There are no safeguards to prevent illegal aliens from registering to vote and voting in the current elections to vote for Democrats and replace you. I'm trying to stop that. I need people to listen to us. There's a plot to pass this amnesty in effect. Donald Trump already signed an amnesty. And so here's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, they're using these minors to get through a loophole in the law. Well, guess where the loophole came from? Donald Trump signed an amnesty into law for millions of illegal aliens in the secret budget bill of February 15th, 2019, the day after Valentine's, HJ Res 31, Section 224A. If you want to go find it yourself, just get online.
Sure.
Look up HJ Res 31, Section 224A. And all of these minors, illegal aliens, cannot be deported with the current funding cycle through September. Neither can any of the illegal aliens that are accompanying the minors. Neither can a household of 10 to 15 illegal aliens in a house with one of these minors. Neither can any illegal aliens claiming they might be interested in being with one of these minors. Donald Trump has increased illegal immigration and increased child trafficking through the bill he signed into law on February 15th. So my patience has run out. Patience of many others have run out, and we've got over 12 to 14 guest speakers representing Oath Keepers, Help Save Maryland, Angel Families.
And you, how tough was it to get that permit for Lafayette Square there?
Raymond Herrera, We the People America, got that permit, and it wasn't too tough to get it.
Wow.
But we're in the southwest corner, right across from the White House, near the statue of Rochambeau. We'll be there tomorrow, Saturday, June 8th, from 11 to 4. If you can't get to us, which we'd love to get you to us, with an American flag or sign that's appropriate, only racially inclusive, peaceful organizations and activists have been invited. In fact, I'm one of only 2 fully Caucasian males speaking at the event. And these are independent people whose support for Trump, ranges. Like, I'm not voting for Trump again because of how I feel about it.
Right. Let me bring that up. Let me hit you with this one.
Okay.
Do you believe if Joe Biden is the nominee that President Trump is reelected?
I think that Donald Trump's chances of being reelected are going down for three main factors. One, he's alienating base supporters, people like me. Some who won't vote for him again, some who will grudgingly vote for him again, but definitely not contribute as much or volunteer on his campaign. And if he actually signs this Jared Kushner, Lindsey Graham-backed amnesty deal into law, the number of people that feel the way I do will quadruple. Okay? So if you want Trump to win, you need to help me stop this amnesty bill, or you're going to have a lot more people annoying you by not supporting him, like me. Two, the people online, InfoWars, AliPac, others that have, championed Trump and fought for him in 2016 have been decimated by Silicon Valley censorship and oppression and violation of our civil rights. And Donald J. Trump has done nothing but tweet and talk about it and hasn't lifted a finger to send in civil rights attorneys or anybody else to help us. So a lot of the people that got him elected can't help him anymore if they want to. Number three, he's already letting in enough illegal aliens for the Democrats to pump in the swing districts and swing states to probably knock him out anyway. Yes, it really stinks that Joe Biden or somebody else's chances are going up and winning in reaction to people hearing the messages that I have to share with you today. But that's not my problem. That's not my fault. That is the fault and the problem of Donald J. Trump, who is creating this situation through his broken campaign promises. Don't tell me, as an American, I shouldn't go out there and tell people the truth to the best of my ability. Tell Donald J. Trump that he needs to honor his promises and do the things that he told us he was going to do that we consider to be a matter of national and personal survival.
William Gein, we appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Hey, thank you. Hope to be back soon.
Hey, before you go, your website real quick if people want to join the campaign.
Yeah, we're at alipac.us. There's more details on everything I've just said, including source links that back up my claims and what I'm trying to get you to understand. Please go spend a little bit of time in our announcement section at www.alipac.us. I'm old school because I use www, which you don't need anymore. And please consider getting on our email alerts. We really appreciate the attention and support on these very critical issues.
Mr. Gein, as always, our friendship continues, even though you're on one coast and I'm near the other.
God bless, Kevin.
God bless. Good luck, buddy. Good luck. You're going into some unfamiliar territory in D.C.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. Watch our live stream. Find my William Gein, president of AliPac page with 22,000 supporters on it, or the page of Raymond Herrera. It's in today's press release. I'm about to send copies to you, Kevin. We hope to be able to live stream. We're not 100% sure if we can that close to the White House, but we're going to attempt to live stream this event. So if you can't be there with us in D.C., please watch and share the event live from home.
Thank you, sir. Take care, Mr. Gein.
Take care, Kevin.
All right, our great friend William Gein going to the White House. Coming up next, your response to Mr. Gein, but back to the Hyde Amendment. And this is talking about issues that matter to all of us. And if you're wondering what the Hyde Amendment is, the Hyde Amendment was first passed more than 40 years ago in response to Roe versus Wade. It has been reauthorized in annual government spending bills ever since, barring Medicaid, Medicare, and other federal health programs from paying for abortions. Opponents say the ban is disproportionately impacts low-income women, particularly women of color. For over 40 years, Joseph Biden has supported the Hyde Amendment. He said that he continued to support the Hyde Amendment because, as a practicing Roman Catholic, he's against abortion. But he's not against women having abortions.
Circumstances have changed.
Yes, I want to be president for the third or fourth time.
Working through the final details of my health care plan, like others in this race, and I've been struggling with the problems that Hyde now presents. If I believe health care is a right, as I do, I can no longer support an amendment that makes that right dependent on someone's zip code.
More on that in a minute. The Hyde Amendment under attack, under siege, and Joe Biden joins the crew. Plus,
when you have 1,800,000 people cross the border this fiscal year, this isn't something that we want Mexico to take a nonchalant approach to and just say, well, in 2 or 3 years, we're going to have a lot of things in place to help you.
Right. Where's the wall? 580-5436, 580-KIDO. You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Tone Loc coming to the Boise Music Festival. How excited are you to see Big Tone? We love Tone Loc. We love the Boise Music Festival. Check that out. More information at KIDOTalkRadio.com. The Boise Music Festival. Can you believe it? June 22nd. 10 years of the BMF. Pitbull, Eli Young Band, not to be confused with the Eli Whitney Band. Pitbull, Color Me Bad, the Carnival, the Festival. Boy, a couple weeks away, really. Speaking of a carnival and a festival, it doesn't get much more festive than Tea Party Bob. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Miller. You know, that guy, Willard Dean, I don't think he really is interested in anything but raising money for his organization. And a lot of the he's talking about and that he relates to don't really have an enormous amount of effect, and they're not going to have a big effect on the election. But in any case, let's get on to Wasden and this lawsuit that he has against the drug companies.
Well, before we do that, let's just remind everybody, earlier we were discussing Idaho is suing Big Pharma, is suing Purdue Pharma, OxyContin maker, saying, hey, man, you guys were marketing this product, and in 2015 alone, 1.3 million opioid prescriptions were written in Idaho. One prescription for every man, woman, and child in this state. Boom!
Well, let me ask the question. If it was happening in 2015, why wasn't the lawsuit filed then instead of now? And if you take a good hard look at the records of campaign contributions, you're going to find that just about every legislator in Idaho's legislature gets money from Big Pharma, and they get it every election year. So don't give me this baloney about, oh, we're going after them. You know, Purdue was sued many years ago, and they paid out $600 million. It's nothing compared to what they make on these opioids. It's a mere pittance. Until you hit these guys for $4, $5, or $6 billion, they're not going to stop doing what they're doing. And the problem is they create a situation where they've got the doctors promoting these drugs, and they promote them more than anybody else. Not only that, they get paid special deals. They get trips over to Hawaii or down to Puerto Rico. Well, not so much Puerto Rico now with all the problems there. But they get all these paid trips by the pharma people. You know, it's a big joke.
Well, he's suing, but look, well, wait a minute. You may say it's a big joke, but he's suing.
Yeah.
He's doing something.
Well, like I said,
hold on. I sound like I sound like a little kid. He's doing something. Sorry,
where
that's
was
me.
he in 2015 when this was a real problem, a serious problem?
Nobody knew about it.
He was nowhere to be found.
Nobody knew about it. Tea Party Bob.
Nobody knew about it.
Nobody knew about it.
Nobody wanted to talk about it because everybody was getting paid.
So what should he do? Just sit there and do nothing?
No, better late than never.
How do you stop the opioid crisis, all great one, all-knowing?
Oh, great one, oh, Nelly. Well,
yeah, what do you do? You've got the answers for everything.
You have to start at the root of the problem, and that's with the people. You know, you can't give opioids for everybody who has a depressionary state because there are too many people in depression around this country nowadays.
Well,
I think most of them are in depression because of the political situations that go on.
No. I think that you could blame social media. You could blame everything. But, I mean, that's not – look, you can't give someone a bark from a tree and say that's the same thing as a prescription. We're not just talking about depression. You're talking about pain. You're talking about illnesses. What's the solution? Heck, we can't stop –
What did we do before opioids?
It was called go have a couple eggs over easy and pound your way through it.
Right.
I resemble that remark.
Everybody wants to take the easy way out.
Well, maybe not.
It's not the right way. Yeah, it is. Take a look at the amount of people taking these opioids.
Well, some would say you took the easy way out.
Not me. I took the easy way out. I took the
You
trail north.
deserted us. You left us.
Hey, listen. I had a California driver in front of me coming down to the valley this morning doing 45 in a 65. I almost went nuts.
Well, Tea Party
They're
Bob.
up there, too, let me tell you.
Tea Party Bob. visiting the Treasure Valley today. GemStatePatriot.com. Maybe we'll see you.
The invasion's on, Kevin. Have a good day. Talk to you soon.
All right. Tea Party Bob. Traffic and weather together. KIDO Talk Radio. Let's get you to work safely and on time. Good morning, Dave. And I'm Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Coming up next, we'll talk a little bit more about the Hyde Amendment, the state of Idaho suing OxyContin, and it happened many years ago. Columbine High School. Many people think that the school should be torn down, the name changed, because there's too much of a, quote, morbid fascination with it. Give you the story on that next, plus your reaction. As always welcome with Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Maggie. And coming up, the move to rename Columbine High School, because too many people have this morbid fixation with it. But first, KIDO Talk Radio is your home for Fox News on the radio. And when that means Fox News on the radio, it means our great friend Michelle Polino joins us from La La Land. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. Can you pick me up one of those lottery tickets?
No worries. Sure, the check is in the mail.
All right. I've heard that before.
Indeed. So here we have the Great Country Music Awards. Anything really big happen? Anything legendary besides Carrie Underwood is the best ever?
20 wins. I don't know how anybody at this point could even catch up to her, right?
Right.
I mean, 20 wins. That's extraordinary. I was a little surprised, but not, because Country Music Television loves Carrie Underwood. Obviously, with her track record heading into the night, she was going to break records, and she did. And not just the coveted video of the year, but female video of the year. So Carrie wins and Love wins, which is her song, and Cry Pretty. Other big takeaways from the night, I thought the performance between Brandi Carlile and Tanya Tucker was extraordinary. I thought Tanya Tucker really sounded great. They did a rendition of Delta Dawn. I was happy for Keith Urban. I'm a big fan. Coming Home is one of my favorite songs with Julia Michaels. And Dan and Shay continue their winning streak. So those are the ones, my big takeaways from the night.
Michelle Polino joining us, Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. So we've got this little event coming to, a place called Boise, Idaho. Bronco Stadium, that's where they play football on the blue. I'm sure you're down with that.
I know exactly what you're going to be talking about, and I wish I was there.
Well, what do you make of that, sister?
I wish I was there. I want to hear it. It's Blake Shelton, and you're talking about of course, the duet, the reveal of the duet between Garth Brooks and Blake Shelton. I'm pretty excited about this.
I know, and they're going to film a video and blah, blah, blah. And who would have thought, at least for a night, a place known for college football will have the country music world by storm?
I literally looked at plane tickets. I was like, I really want to go. Like, that's going to be the greatest song ever. And it's very exciting. It's not just Blake Shelton fans, obviously Garth Brooks fans. This is actually, it came out of the blue because Garth just announced it yesterday at Shelton's Old Red Tavern in Nashville. And, again, Garth does things Garth's way. He does his own deal. And so I don't get his music like I get all the other artists' music. So I always have to wait until he releases it on his streaming stuff. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting for not just Garth fans, but for everybody else.
What do you think it'll do for the area? Again, we have football here all the time. We have the X Games coming in, but this is huge. Garth Brooks coming in. Usually the stadiums are twice the size that he's going to be at here. You've got the iconic blue. You've got Blake Shelton. You've got this video. You've got 2 nights of Garth. What are if you're Kevin Miller and you still live in a hut, Even will I even be impacted by it? People that are not really, country music people. Is it a cultural thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think more and more, like you're saying with I think more and more people and artists are focusing on not just the coast but the middle of the country, and I think you're seeing more of a trend that way. And I think that that's going to be the focus. I think that's what we're leaning towards. I think there's a shift happening, and that's part of the shift. Only because, and I think it has a lot to do with social media and seeing the millions of people that don't get to, don't have a voice necessarily because they're not on the coast. You know what I'm saying?
Look, sister, I know what you're saying. I got another one for you real quick.
Okay.
And I don't want to talk about the Avengers because I haven't seen the movie, but is that the best superhero movie ever, in your opinion?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay,
I don't think any.
All right, number two, the ending of Game of Thrones. Did you like it, or were you disappointed? Like 95%. Well, you embellish on talk radio, so we'll just say 70% of the people that were really disappointed with the last season. Your thoughts?
I was disappointed. I was disappointed with the ending. I didn't see her turning like that. I thought it was too quick a turn, and it just didn't feel right to me. And then with him, I mean, that was true to his character, but it wasn't a good ending for me.
Sure. And I mean, we waited 18 months for that finally, and I'm sorry if I'm holding you over here, but how about this? Chernobyl. You have to have cable. You have to have cable, and then you have to have HBO, the highest rated
please watch.
TV show of all time. And I mean, I'm watching this thing, and Michelle, now you're several years younger than I am, but I remember being a kid when that happened. And you look at the historical significance of Chernobyl, and it just blows people away. It's not a comedy. It's not, in a way, I guess you could say it's inspirational about the story of the human spirit. But can you believe that this miniseries on HBO documenting what happened in 1986 is the most watched series or the most watched television show ever?
I think this. I'm literally writing an article on it. I think it's the best disaster movie or series I've ever seen. It's layered. It's complex. It doesn't treat the Russians badly. It just looks at the facts and presents them, but it also is gut-wrenchingly horrific. Like I was watching, I think, episode 3, and my gut was actually turning. And it's such a well-done program. If you have not seen this yet, I would pay $14.99 just for this show. I would, to get HBO. I would, because better than any movie you're going to see in the theaters.
Well, and again, they had a little fictionalized role in this, but this is based on true events, and we grew up in the time of the Soviet Union. You would say something, and all of a sudden, there's the KGB right there, and Michelle, you're going in the room.
I was astounded. Now, these are all real characters except for one fictional character was an amalgamation of all the scientists that worked really hard. And let me just say this, the political undertone here, what I see coming out of Hollywood, it's always anti-Trump, anti-Trump, anti-Trump. This is the first program where I saw a program that said, watch out, because when the media is in cahoots with the government, it ends up killing the people. And I was like, that was one of the takeaways from this that I thought they expressed so well. It's again an extraordinary series.
As are you, madam.
Well, thank you, and have a great weekend. Again, put that on your put that and the Hot Zone on Nat Geo about the Ebola virus, also very good, on your watch list.
Michelle, thank you.
You got it. Have a great weekend.
You too. Our friend Michelle Polino joining us. And look, if you don't have cable, you don't have HBO, she said it's worth the $16, $17 to buy HBO Go or HBO Now for just a month to watch this series on a tablet or your phone. It is churning. It is impactful. It is depressing. But also, it shows you the triumph of the human spirit against incredible odds. Coming up next, Columbine. Several years later, the local school district says they might be, well, it's time to tear down the high school. We'll get your thoughts on that next. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Blessed to be with you. Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio.
Breaking news, Jeffco Public Schools is considering rebuilding Columbine High School. In a letter to parents, the superintendent says the district is exploring the possibility of asking voters for money to build a new school. And the reason, he says, is because that building continues to serve as an inspiration for violence. Superintendent says there are a lot of ideas on the table. They include keeping the name, building a new school near the current location, and demolishing the existing Columbine High School, even preserving Hope Library. Now, I'm told Jeffco School Superintendent Dr. Jason Glass is expected to comment on this tonight. Of course, we will have much more on this developing story tonight on CBS 4 News at 10.
There we have it, CBS 4 giving us the story, if it is indeed to happen. Tearing down Columbine High School because people are fixated with trying to recreate that tragedy that happened. Other breaking news, House Democrats are looking to investigate Rudolph Giuliani for allegedly seeking foreign help interfering with U.S. politics. Crazy times. Crazy times. Back to the phones. Let's go to Randy with Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Randy, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, Randy.
Yeah, hey, you were talking about these opioids here just a little while ago.
Yes, sir.
And I think you guys might have forgot about the people that actually need them. You never talk about that part. It's just that every time you guys mention these opioids, it's that everybody's a drug addict. There's people out here like myself that I've got 4 or 5 things wrong. If I didn't have them things, I couldn't even get up and get out of my house in the morning. It hurts so bad. I think you just have forgotten those people is all.
Well, no, if you heard what I was saying with Tea Party Bob when he's saying, go do natural alternatives, I've said, look, what are you going to do? Bite on a tree? People do need these things. How do you, and that's the great mystery. How do you balance this where you have the state of Idaho suing the maker of OxyContin, 1.3 million prescriptions for OxyContin in 2015 for every man, woman, and child? How do we determine it? And I'm listening to the PSA ads, Randy, and they're going, well, Sally, you're just going to have to be in pain now. And I'm thinking, what if Sally doesn't want to be in pain and the pain hurts?
Yeah. The thing of it is also that these statistics that they're coming up with all these numbers, I don't believe all that stuff either. I mean, I've had to take and rely on pain medicine for the past 4 or 5 years. And I'm 68 years old. And I go to these pain clinics, and they're way, way, way tougher on you trying to get that stuff than you think. Them people ain't just handing that stuff out to you like they're telling you they are over the radio.
Right, but here's the other one. You have people doing stories on this. Uh-huh. Okay, does that solve the problem? I'm trying to figure out what we can do to make it better.
Well, I mean, make what better? Make me better or make it?
No, I can't solve your pain, buddy.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, sir, where we're looking at somehow trying to, stop the abuse, but make sure people like you still get what you need.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about abuse. All I know is if I don't have them, I don't get to leave the house during the day.
I'm with you, sir. But on the other hand, 1.3 million prescriptions is pretty big for the entire state of Idaho in 2015.
Yeah, but we're not in 2015.
Who knows
how 2019.
Well, how we could say we If it's only 1 million, we've cut it down.
Yeah.
It's all about the
I
figures.
don't know I don't know what you're saying or how many they've given to people or whatever. I'm just trying to say you haven't mentioned the people that need it. I mean, they're pushing so hard to get rid of it. I'm afraid to death that they're not going to be able to take and furnish any pain medicine to people that really need it.
And that's a valid concern that I agree with you is understated.
And it has been understated. I mean, I literally got to take and get into tears at the doctor's office. You know, I mean, this is a bad deal for people. Yeah, it's not as easy to deal with these doctors as you think it is. You don't just waltz in there and just get these pills for free. It just don't work that way.
Well, you're right, Randy. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Guy in Cuna with Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. Guy, good morning.
Morning, Kevin. This thing about Columbine wanting to change the name, tear down the building, et cetera, all that does is lets the bad guys win. Come on, are we going to change the name of Gettysburg? Are we going to change the name of Normandy Beach? Yeah, lots of things are inspirational, but I think the key is to have an opportunity in Jefferson County to use that situation and that building and that site as an educational tool to talk about how egregious this behavior was, how bad it was, and acknowledge the loss. To tear down the building, to change the name, whoever the bad people are that are being inspired by it, according to this superintendent, they'll find another inspiration in the area. You tear it down, change the name, you're letting the bad guys win.
What do you think of houses where crimes happen?
Same thing. I mean, I was in fire department 15 years, responded to a lot of homicides, a lot of domestic violence. You're not eliminating the problem or addressing the problem by tearing down a structure or eliminating a park. We need to use those. I mean, come on, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. They are inspirational messages for future generations to educate them about how bad something is or was. You just can't wipe it out. You're being too politically correct by addressing it that way. Use it as an educational tool. Make the point that this is bad and leave it up. Taking it down, the bad guys are winning.
Guy, thank you for the call.
Thanks.
580-5436, 580-KIDO. Coming up next, Nancy Pelosi is pushing back on impeachment. Why? We'll tell you. First, traffic and weather together. Kevin Miller in the morning. Let's get you to work safely and on time. Good morning, Dave. Here we have just a thought here at 580-5436. We have the Speaker of the House, third in line after the Vice President and President, saying that she wants the President of the United States to be put in jail. She doesn't want to impeach him. Now, when you talk to your kids or your grandkids, or when Jeff the Suit talks to me, what is the talk? What do they usually say? Look, you can't act like a kid. Now, Pelosi's what, in her 70s or 80s? Somebody should really just say to her, look, Nancy, this is above you as a grandmother. This is above you as a wife, a mother. You've got to act your age. And saying that you want the president put in jail is juvenile, childish, and whether you're the Speaker of the House or you're a dead mother of the Cub Scouts, it's irresponsible, right? Finally, feel-good story today before Glenn Beck. Remember a year ago, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders was kicked out of the Lexington, Virginia restaurant Red Hen because she was working for President Trump. Well, she got the last laugh Monday night. She was dining with the Queen of England, a formal state dinner. Good for you, Sarah Sanders. We sure do appreciate you. We appreciate the great Ray Amaya. Everybody, don't go anywhere. Glenn Beck, Dave Ramsey, Sean Hannity, Lars Larson. Thank you all for listening. God bless.